No, no, no. Sometimes life gives you moments of pure peace, and sometimes it all comes crashing down in a single phone call. This is the story of our greatest reset and the moment that everything changed. Aloha cargo crew, I'm Morgan. I live in Hawaii in a van with my mom Laura and our dogs Bailey and Kalea. On the One Stellar Life channel, we share our journey of family, freedom, and fun. Nomad Origins is a story of how it all began when my mom, our two dogs, and I first set out to live nomadically. Looking back now, these are the moments, the choices, and the adventures that shape the life we live today. After weeks of hard work, we finally gave ourselves a reset. From June 14th to the 18th, we stayed at Malikahana Campground, right by the beach. We rented a little hale, a cottage that sat right on the sand, and it was paradise. We'd wake up with the sun and watch the sky melt into pinks and golds. The dogs got up to swim and run, splashing in the water like kids at summer camp. One morning, we even shared the beach with turtles, slowly making their way back to the water. Those few days felt like time stopped, like we had been given permission to just be. We weren't alone either. Nikki, the same friend with the bus conversion, joined us there and brought even more light to the experience. One night, we sat down with her, John, and some of her friends for dinner. It wasn't small talk either. It was deep conversations about life, our talents, about what it really means to live freely. John opened up about his life. My mom shared stories of hers, and we all leaned into this unspoken bond that comes from being seekers on the same path. That night wasn't about selling vans or logistics. It was all about aloha, about connection, realizing that no matter where you are, community can spring up where hearts are open. I remember sitting there and just feeling grateful for my mom, for the dogs, new friends, and for this reset we so badly needed. In those moments, it felt like we were exactly where we were supposed to be. By the time we left Malikahana, we felt refreshed. Mom and I drove away lighter, like we'd shed the weight of the last few months. The beach days, the laughter, the talks, they gave us a glimpse of what van life could really be when the stress faded away. But looking back now, I can see it so clearly. Those peaceful days were the calm before the storm. It was June 23rd. Mom and I had parked at Sandy Beach. I remember waking up that morning around 7 or 8 a.m. and Mom telling me she felt like something had been ripped out of her heart the night before. She thought maybe she needed to make some lifestyle change and she was nervous about her health. A little while later, her phone rang. It was my aunt. I watched as Mom answered, and I'll never forget the sound of her voice, breaking and trembling as she said, "No, no, no." She just kept repeating it. My heart sank because I didn't know what was happening, but I knew it was bad. When she handed me the phone, I braced myself for the worst. Honestly, I thought something had happened to my brother, but it wasn't my brother. It was my grandma. The same grandma who just weeks earlier had told us, "Come, my home is your home." She was gone, just like that. I can't explain it any other way. Time slowed down. The waves kept rolling in, people were still moving around us, but it was like I was in a bubble. I could hear my mom crying beside me, feel the phone in my hand, but it didn't seem real. Everything we had been planning, all the excitement about our next chapter, crumbled in that moment. I wish I could tell you I knew exactly what I felt, but the truth is, I went numb. My only thought was, everything just changed. That morning at Sandy Beach was the moment our world was turned upside down. The peace we'd found just days earlier vanished in an instant, replaced with grief, confusion, and the weight of knowing everything was about to accelerate. We didn't know it yet, but this phone call was the start of the most chaotic 2 weeks of our lives. In the next episode, I'll share how grief forced us to leave Hawaii faster than we ever imagined, and how we had to say goodbye to the very last piece of the life we built here. If this chapter of our story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next part of Nomad Origins. Share your story in the comments. I'd love to hear how you've found strength in the middle of loss. If you're new here and want to see how this journey began, click right here to watch the very first episode of Nomad Origins. That is where it all started.